The morning would start off just as many before it, before the sun has risen. From there, it was west on US 460 and down some old country back roads before arriving into Hinton, West Virginia. Two eastbounds are awaiting a crew to depart: mixed freight train M653 and another loaded coal drag. I wouldn't be sticking around in Hinton for long though, as I knew empty coal drag E438 would be departing to the west. It was time for another hour-long drive into the new River Gorge National Park and to the Concho Rim Overlook. Fall colors are just past peak, but what a spectacular view it is. Deep into the gorge is the town of Thurmond. Long ago the town was bustling, with 2 hotels and nearly 500 residents, but now just 5 permanent residents remain. It is, however, a stop for Amtrak's tri-weekly Cardinal, who we just missed. If you get the chance, I highly recommend visiting the new River Gorge in the fall. There isn't much that can top this. After about 45 minutes of taking in the view, E438 could be heard calling signals in the distance. It wasn't much longer until they were on their final approach. Nearly the whole train can be seen stretched out as the train makes a horseshoe curve following the bank of the new river. In the siding here at Thurmond is a cut of loaded coal hoppers. They have been loaded at Pax, West Virginia on R.J. Corman's Loup Creek. While heading into Thurmond to check out the town, we heard an R.J. Corman crew gathering another cut of empty hoppers for a run up to Pax. Just 2 miles out of Thurmond, and the 2 big GEs are already struggling to get the empty train upgrade. Leaves and rainy conditions do not make a good mix for the steel wheels. I decided to head another mile up the road and wait for them at a sweeping curve where the railroad crosses the aptly named Thurmond Road, one of the only roads in and out of town. It would take just over 20 minutes for them to travel the mile upgrade from where we last saw them, and now you can see why. They're going all of about 3 miles per hour as they poke around the corner. As they get across Thurmond Road, they are finally able to pick up some speed. I believe today's train up to the mine is about 80 empties. With them still moving at such a slow speed, it was no problem getting ahead of them again by Glen. By now, rain was beginning to fall again in the new River Gorge. Into Mount Hope, the rain has cleared back up as they snake their way through town. That break in the rain sure didn't last for long, though. as they climb out of Mount Hope Tunnel on the western end of town. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get down to the west end of the portal in time, so this will have to do. By Pax Branch, the engineer is carefully holding the train back with his dynamic brakes as it is rolling downhill and into Pax. As the train heads into Pax, it arrives at the Alpha Coal loadout, where the crew will spend the next 3 hours or so loading their train. This did, however, mean that this would be the end of the chase for me, as I wasn't sticking around until after dark to chase the return run to Thurmond. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's trip to the new River Gorge, especially in those fall conditions. If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below, and come back next time. Until next time, this is Commonwealth Rail, out.